Sweet. Alrighty then. What is going on, everyone? We are live and alive in 915 El Paso, Texas, and this is our Monday night online mic. Welcome back. Welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in, well, happy to have you. This is an online mic, and like any other open mic, all we ask of you guys is hold on. I want to hear myself there. Yeah. If you want to perform like any other open mic, all you have to do is sign up. There's a link to sign up in the description of this video on YouTube here. Um, but we do have a pretty full list today, just as a heads up. So if you do sign up, it's going to be later in the night. We're going to try and move things along pretty quickly. Like I said, we're based out of El Paso, Texas. We do have events, open mics, writing workshops in the region all throughout the week, all throughout the month. And of course, we're online every Monday. So if you do want to check us out next Monday and maybe perform then, follow us on social media, Bard Bar Open Mic. Also, we do have a Substack. If you, all of you writers out there who have one, I believe I have it linked in our description as well. The thing about that is we are celebrating National Poetry Month, and something that people like to do for Poetry Month is a 30 for 30 challenge. That's writing some 30 things in 30 days, even if it's like a line, a stanza, a haiku. Some people have been writing whole poems, tomes. Okay, maybe not quite there, but yeah. And we're kind of highlighting people who are submitting stuff to us. Plus, each day I'm sharing like little tidbits on writing and writing prompts. Also, shout out to Finn Bell, who's doing that as well on Substack if you need a little bit of a push, some inspiration. But other than that, the reason why I'm saying that is our D19 post has our calendar. We have a calendar, a lot of stuff going on this week. I'm going to read through it very quickly. Tomorrow, we're going to be downtown El Paso for our Verse and Harmony open mic at Rosewood Bar. Verse and Harmony is an open mic for music and writers, musicians, and writers. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. The show starts after 9. Rosewood is on San Antonio Street. Come on through, hang out with us. Wednesday, we have our Writers Night, Volume 5. That's right. It's going to be our fifth time meeting up, and it's in two parts. The first part, starting at 7 p.m., is a writing workshop where Candice is going to be, Candice Marlene will be kind of leading some sort of prompt, and then really giving people an opportunity to share what they wrote and have people workshop the pieces a little bit. It's been very unique and fun. The last one we did, we kind of went overtime because I think people were really getting stuff out of it. And then at 9 p.m. or sometime after 9 p.m., we have an open mic for writers. I have a highlight reel that I'll be posting tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Thursday, we have our open mic night at Old Sheepdog Brewery. That's going to be in South Central El Paso, hosted by Kit Wren. If you're here in the Zoom call, you can see Kit Wren right there. And we'll be reading later tonight. And you can see on most of these shows that we've done every single night on Monday. I won't be there. I'll be taking the night off, hosting another event, but don't worry about that. And then some other stuff going on. You can read about it on our Substack. But because we have a pretty full list, we're going to go ahead and get right into this. Again, if you guys are watching and you see someone you like, you hear a line that you like, let us know in the comments. You, the audience, we don't know you're here. So that's why I encourage you guys to say hello in the chat. Hang out with us in chat. You know, if there's something that you find amusing or interesting, you know, you can write it down. If there's a line that you really love, it's really good feedback to the writer, to the poet, to know that that line, that's a specific line or a phrase, like hit well, you know. Other than that, I'm encouraging every performer, as always, to share your social media, any links you have, links to your books, links to your Substacks, links to your YouTube channels. We do have a little bit of music as well. So just have fun. We're here to express, communicate, and collaborate. With that said, we're going to kick things off in Denver. Let me make sure that you are first on the list. Yes. Okay, cool. It's just at this point, it's automatic, right? We're going to kick things off in Denver. And to be fair, it's Michael Sendler up next. So, Mike, when you're ready, go and take it away. Kick us off.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here. Good to see everybody. Wonderful crowd tonight. I'm going to go ahead real quickly, put up my little very old and crinkled sign for lighthousewriters.org. And I want to remind everybody that starting June 6th is going to be Lit Fest at Lighthouse, which has some just absolutely amazing things going on. And those things are filling up real quick. So it's worth checking out and trying to get classes and if you're poor like me, you can try and get some financial aid from them, which they do give out. So don't despair because of the cost. Um, that being said, uh, been a lot of stuff going on here spiritually the last few weeks. It's, this whole beginning of spring, I think sets a lot of people off. So this is a little on my more spiritual edge. It's called Defining Principle. Brahma breathed out the Om, open lotus lounge, the center, universe begins and splinters out. Even perfection has its cracks, old Leonard's fabled light sources. In an instant, all of all is flung into sudden sacred space that was not there. Vishnu finishes his nap, then adds the essence of himself. And so, with the Shakti of Lakshmi that energizes all, love blossoms as the defining principle. Nothing exists that does not contain the potential to unlock and be love. And yet the mirror twin exists as well, allowing self to create a million hells. Hate will try and conquer, but Shiva will defeat it again and again as he brings the universe back to its state of non-being. Brahma breathing it all back in, and then with another outward Om, it all repeats again. So that's one way of looking at things. Um, and I thought I would real quick do a poem about poetry, seeing how it's National Poetry Month. And this is one of my sonnets called Poem Boxing. Completely willing to risk a defeat, consenting to play by rules of the game, jumping into the ring with iambic feet, not seeking glory and immune to shame. 14 savage lunges toward the page, 10 quick paces forward in each attack. No foe or enemy there to engage, only a mirror image staring back. Ink in place of blood flows onto paper in 3 full rounds and one that's shorter. True poet or presumptuous faker, it's hard to tell before the Volta. Success or failure, it's your call to make. The poet's task is only to create. And super quick, just for yesterday, this is called April Egg. Eggs from a bunny? Maybe it's a platypus, as long as it's chocolate. And I will put on the hat. I think I'm running pretty well on time as of this point. I'm going to start with a real short one by the great Jane Hirschfield, and it's called The Poet. She is working now in a room not unlike this one, the one where I write or you read. Her table is covered with paper. The light of the lamp would be tempered by a shade where the bulb's single harshness might dissolve. But is it not? She has taken it off. Her poems, I will never know them. They are the ones I most need. Even the alphabet she writes in, I cannot decipher. Her chair, let us imagine whether it is leather or canvas, vinyl or wicker. Let her have a chair, her shadeless lamp, the table. Let one or two she loves be in the next room. Let the door be closed, the sleeping ones healthy. Let her have time and silence, enough paper to make mistakes, and go on. Could have read that one better, but that's how it goes. And lastly, this is a poem by Karen Glenn called The Poem Wants a Drink. In the workshop, students analyze what each poem wants. what each one strives to be. Well, this poem is a layabout with limited ambitions. It wants a drink. This poem doesn't give a damn for rhyme or reason. It only sings off key. It has no rhythm in the jukebox of its soul. It grew up without symbols. It doesn't know from assonance. Give it mambo lessons and it still won't learn to dance. It has not one stanza with a lyric pedigree. It's late and getting later, and this poem wants a drink. Call it gray and tired, even call it a cliche. This poem's lived long enough to know exactly what it means to say, don't be stingy with the whiskey, baby. Yes, the night has been a cruel one, and this poem could use a drink. Okay, thank you very much.
All right, appreciate it as always. And you guys got a little glimpse there of one of the traditions, which is we do welcome, in addition to highly encourage original work, but the cover poem. It's a great way to kind of introduce a writer, poet, or musician to a new audience and a new context, usually timely. So yeah, for those of you just getting here, welcome to our online show, our online mic, and something I haven't done in a while, but I just some people were messaging me about stuff. So a couple of suggestions, right? So because there are a lot of people, we want to keep performances around 5 to 7 minutes. That's max, right? And we do have a lot of people today. Of course, we welcome poetry, prose, and cover pieces, whether it be poem or songs. The other thing is be aware of your mics. We don't really need to unmute unless you're performing. Otherwise, we just hang out in the Zoom chat. For those of you watching on YouTube, please hang out with us in the YouTube chat. I know a lot of people who are here hang out there as well. So if you have questions or comments, please, we love to read them. The other thing is just to respect the mic and one another. So what that means is, we want to, we don't allow hate speech, bullying, sexual misconduct, or inappropriate behavior towards other guests. So just keep that in mind. Just try to keep it cool, trying to share some pieces. And lastly, if you're an EPCC student, the directions for how to get credit for the download passport are in the description of this video. Otherwise, let's go and keep going, guys. Sorry about that. I just had to mention it because we do have a lot of new people today, both viewers and attendees. And I will post the sign up sheet in just a moment so you guys can see your order. But we're going to go ahead and stick around or come back to El Paso for our next performer. Who is joining us from the secret fourth point on the Bermuda Triangle. That's awesome. We have David Latif. David, what's up, man? When you are ready, I'll go ahead and get the spotlight on you. Welcome back to the show. And thanks for submitting every as often as you can to the
Yeah,
to the 30 for 30.
I missed yesterday, so I submitted two today because I felt like it was like 11:45 and I was like, I'm too tired to write a poem today. I just completely forgot. This is the poem that I wrote. I'm gonna do several ones that I wrote for 30 for 30 and then another one in honor of Autistic Awareness Month. This one doesn't have a title. If you can think of one, let me know. I forgot to write a poem, and I made the mistake of watching a video about the deportations. I've been trying to write something to cram my feelings, all my dread and terror into something poetic. This isn't a poem, it's an emotional crisis with pacing. I'm just hitting enter where it feels right. I have so many feelings that I can't fit into these phrases. I'm an engine at redline, each emotion a piston, knocking and pigging. The head gasket is blown between cylinders, sadness and rage. The coolant is overheating, and I don't remember when I last topped up the oil. I don't know how much longer this can last. I'm gonna do another poem. This one was inspired by Kit Wren's lovely workshop on wrestling and kayfabe. This one also doesn't have a title. If you think of one, let me know. I'm going to get into a fight. Not because I wanted to, but because you wanted to. You decided to show up to my community, the queer community, with your bigoted billionaire bullshit to start kicking kids because they just couldn't be normal. Because we didn't want to ride Harry Potter in the rapid descent into fascism sponsored by Tesla. We just wanted to be ourselves. But you couldn't have that because you saw the pride that we have in who we are and it made you envious. Because you fascists are all the same insecure failures with daddy issues who could never get into art school. So you start swinging at the people who are secure in who they are so that we won't be anymore. Because if you didn't get to be happy, then no one can be. So here's the deal. I'm gonna be so fucking trans that it makes you sick. I'm gonna drown us both in an ocean of queer joy. I'm gonna be so proud of who I am, and you can't stop me. This last one is called I Am Autistic. I say to my therapist, "You are a person with autism," he responds, being entirely wrong. "We use person first language here. We say people with autism." No, the fuck we don't. First, autistic people is fewer syllables. When I speak, I feel like a toddler sprinting on cobblestone. Every single syllable a crack between the big bricks just big enough to catch my foot and send me tumbling into a sputter. Secondly, I don't have autism. I am autism. And the only reason I don't say I am ADHD is because that isn't already a normal phrase. Yet. See, I have a backpack and keys that I frequently lose, leave behind, or can get rid of. The autism, though, that's here to stay. It's the colored thread in the tapestry that is my soul. Take that away and the tapestry goes with it. It's not a part of my body, it is my body. The way tendons aren't attached to bone and muscle, but are bone transitioning to muscle, and the pain you feel when your tendon snaps is the same excruciating pain I feel every time you tell me to do the same to myself. I'm tired of dismembering myself to fit into your boxes, chopping off the various limbs of my soul so that you can feel like you fixed something. I am not a puzzle to be pieced together. I am the whole painting. I am nothing to be fixed because I wasn't broken to begin with. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm not going to get over it. I am autistic. Who the fuck are you to say otherwise? Thank you so much. You can find me at Blue Sky at poetfriend.bsky.social. You can find me on Substack at what's it called? Poetic Universal Friend. I've been posting poems there. You can also find the daily poems I've been writing on the Richie's BWOMS Substack. But yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, David. Love the Arturito in the back. That's right. That's how I say his name, Arturito. Uh, yeah, love the pieces. Also integral to our writers' nights, which you guys can check out on Wednesday at Proof and Press. We're going to keep on going. We're going to stick around in El Paso, and someone who also has been rocking stuff on Substack is Ed Gonzalez, Jedi. That's right. When you're ready, Ed, I'll get you on here. Peace, peace, peace. Hello.
Okay, here we go. Okay, hello everyone. Happy Monday. Um, I got some short pieces, so hopefully I'll get them done pretty quickly. It's been a rough weekend for us here at the old homestead. It had nothing to do with the sandstorm, but there's something I wrote on a piece about that. It had to do with a loss here, but anyway, this is an old one that I've been going back and checking out my old ones, um, and uh, and I have two covers. This one's entitled Cafecito. A tradition was passed to our family by my father-in-law. I had never had espresso before, but I did set a land speed record with my van once I imbibed it. Because growing up, we made our own perk, regular perk. But our new shared practice is amazing, a loving tradition. The night before, everything is washed and prepared, including ensured amounts of grounds and sugar sufficient for the morning brew. Cuban coffee, it's an easy task with proper prep. Great care is taken to make sure it's good tasting and had plenty of foam. And we make sufficient amounts for morning and evening café con leche. This tradition was carried from Matanzas farmland to Havana proper, and now to the borderlands of El Paso del Norte. All right, that something had to do with my father-in-law and his coffee. About the rough weekend, had a lot to do with the passing of one of our family members, who my daughter says was my first grandchild. She was 13. Sheba, she passed away last week. It's amazing how hard that is, you know. I mean, I was there when my dad passed away. I didn't shed a tear. I was sad, of course, kissed him on the forehead, but these animals just woof, they just take a big chunk with them. Anyway, this one I wrote at 3 a.m. I think it was yesterday. And this one's entitled "The Transitions at 3 a.m." Everyone in the house had been pretty solemn since the passing of my daughter's dog, Sheba. As a goof, I would call her Chiba and tell everyone she was named after Jack Ruby's dog. It made no difference to her. She followed me everywhere. That includes checking every room. She would push the doors open with her head. German Shepherds are very physical. And she did not like when the doors were closed. And it was a clear blue sky in the morning. And I had till 3 to pick up her ashes from paws from heaven. I had never ventured that far down Montana Avenue. There are parts of the road where there's desert on both sides of the road. I didn't eat that morning, as I knew Rally Point Coffee was on my way home. Coffee and a muffin sounded good. Oh yeah. I always used Fat Guy directions that were based on my favorite eateries. When I arrived, it was the only street on the building. I walked in, the guy finalized my paperwork, and just then the building began to rattle as the ambient light turned orange. "Oh crap," was heard from the back room. By then I was hoisting up Sheba's bag and I raced to the door with dust blowing from both sides of the street. And nothing stopped it, the killing of my visibility. Heading down the road, I mentally scratched off the coffee shop off my list of things to do. Crap. Well, I guess this was Sheba's last laugh now that I'm trying to make it home. Couldn't see anything on that road. Now relieved and relaxed, I prepared my bed. Sunday morning, I woke up at 3 a.m. right on schedule. I dragged my glasses and my phone with me to the restroom to check stuff. When I saw it, Pope Francis had passed. I had paused and then reposted from a page that I frequented. I smiled, thinking, well, Sheba will be there to greet him and guide him to the faces that he would recognize. Peace be with you, Papa. Okay, and I got 2 covers. I'm going to read them as quickly as I could. Got the Ravenclaw. This first one's entitled River Ghost by Cheryl Luna. I just got her new book. Well, not her new book, but I mean, I just picked up this book. Good stuff. I just keep finding and keep finding. Cheryl Luna. This was River Ghost. The little Chihuahuita shadowed beside this Segundo Barrio. A dead German Shepherd with its broken neck lies on the side of the street for days. The stench of El Paso sewerage in the air. A Mexican flag hugely flaps itself above the chain link fence, topped with the razor wire. In the morning of Blue Mountain smog, south side of the border, a man jogs, the river bank green. Small trees bob in the wind, just like truffled treats, mirage. Each day, thousands cross the open bridge both ways. Each night they go home to sleep silence. Cars hum and wait for hours, like sleeping cats. Cemented river, half dried. Even the canal drains away. Some say droves of shadows at night move ghost-like through the dying river. These people grow invisible, as if the air, irrelevant and holy, at night. I can hear the whispers of my grandfather. All angels live in Juarez. There is an old language broken in my throat. Some eyes mistake me for a shadow. When I speak my voice, a fearful phantom. And in spring dust storms come, the sky brown, my visage half forms beneath the Italian cypress, and the day's full moon is the day's moon is full in its silence. I'm afraid of my own darkness. Okay, and my last piece is a piece that I picked out um, by everyone's favorite Joy Harlow. I got it off of this book here. Um, it's You Are Here, Poetry in the Natural World, edited by Ada Limon. There's nothing but gold in that book. And one of them is entitled Eat by Joy Harlow. Grasshoppers devoured the sunflowers, petal by petal, to raggedy yellow flags, squash blossoms of small sun blessed by the dewdrops, flared beauty in the morning, until an army of squash bugs landed and ate, then dragged their bellies from the carnage. Field mice chewed their way into the house. They will eat anything, sweet, and then leave pebbled shit in staggered lines to the closed door. Hungry tree frogs clung to the screen as their curled tongues catch anything with wings driven into the light. We found a snake hidden on the porch. There were rumors in the yard of the fat mice frolicking here. The night is swallowing daylight, and we sit down to eat. Okay, that's everything. Thank you, BWOMS. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, everybody, all the Monday regulars and all the new people. I'm gonna sit down and watch y'all's incredible writing. I'm now on Substack and on Blue Sky. Please look for me. I'm gonna be putting it out as I learn how to do everything online. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Perfect, man. Yeah, we're all learning, and what a great selection of pieces there. That Cheryl Luna last line. Oh, damn. Okay. All right, Cheryl. Awesome, awesome. Once again, guys, this is our online mic. We have a pretty full list. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep going. We're gonna go from El Paso all the way to Massachusetts, where we have a second time performer here at this mic. But he's not new to this scene. In fact, he helped found the People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and the Struggle, if you want to talk more about that. But here to share a little bit of poetry a cappella, we got Storm. Storm, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time, but People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle is over 40 years old. We've got 330 members. We are a dues-paying organization, but dues are flexible in certain ways if they're a challenge. We have a thing coming up tomorrow night on Earth Day, which I will be part of, and you can go to peoplesmusic.org and find out more. Okay. I had a Zoom friend who ran a sea shanty Zoom out of the Northwest, and for about 4 years I was part of it during lockdown. They had gone back to being in the physical thing you could Zoom in to watch but not participate anymore, so I hadn't really paid attention to it. And I found out yesterday he had died. So his name was Wayne. At the same time, a particular individual who likes writing executive orders honored Earth Week by writing an executive order that opened up 400 1,000 square miles of pristine oceanic preserve to commercial fishing. So for both those reasons, I picked this piece. Ways of the Law. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Remembering the ocean. It's not enough that our bodies are mostly water, that water covers the earth, that snow melts and it rains. Always we are pulled by where land ends, by where we may have come from, there where we pick through shells and search storm-brought debris for treasures. Lately more has been revealed. Bales of marijuana, bodies of the latest boat people wash up with the seaweed. The waters, too, are changing, struggling to absorb oil, garbage, sludge, radioactive waste, and plastics. Soon even the deepest parts will be strip-mined and plundered. Inland we turn towards the mountains, make plans to travel to the stars. Sometimes for no particular reason, one among us lifts the conch shell to their ear and smiles, remembering the ocean as they desire to believe it is. What should we do for this threatened planet? What should we do for this threatened planet? What should we do for this threatened planet? It's our world we're forming. Why wait now? Let's all be rising. Why wait now? Let's all be rising. Why wait now? Let's all be rising. It's our world we're forming. Plant some trees and let them grow tall. Plant some trees and let them grow tall. Plant some trees and let them grow tall. It's our world we're forming. Love your neighbor and let it show large. Love your neighbor and let it show large. Love your neighbor and let it show large. It's our world we're forming. Money for bread and not for bombs. Money for bread and not for bombs. Money for bread and not for bombs. It's our world we're forming. Feed the hungry and aid the ailing. Feed the hungry, aid the ailing. Feed the hungry, aid the ailing. It's our world we're forming. Protest war and live in peace. Protest war and live in peace. Protest war and live in peace. It's our world we're forming. Work together we'll build the future. Work together we'll build the future. Work together we'll build the future. It's our world we're forming. Hey, hey, sing boldly on. Hey, hey, sing boldly on. Hey, hey, sing boldly on. It's our world we're forming. What should we do for this threatened planet? What should we do for this threatened planet? What should we do for this threatened planet? It's our world we're forming. Apple trees like arthritic hands reaching for the sun's copper are tired of the white drops of salve that coat their branches. Their only dreams are to bend without breaking, to stand with their trunks and roots saluting the doctored air. They say a diamond is a girl's best friend. They say a diamond is a girl's best friend. Yet still I wonder how that could be. Who'd choose a diamond over a tree? Tree'll give you shade, it'll give you fuel. In the winter warmth, in the summer cool. Now in that tree some birds might nest, and underneath it you'll often rest. They say a diamond is a girl's best friend. They say a diamond is a girl's best friend, yet still I wonder how that could be. Who'd choose a diamond over a tree, and every season that tree will change, and all its colors it'll rearrange, but the diamond stays as cold as ice. So choose a tree is my advice. They say a diamond is a girl's best friend. They say a diamond is a girl's best friend, yet still I wonder how that could be. Who'd choose a diamond over a tree? Now here's a prayer I'll leave for you. May all your trees grow straight and true. They say a diamond is a girl's best friend. They say a diamond is a girl's best friend, yet still I wonder how that could be. Who'd choose a diamond over a tree, yet still I wonder how that could be. Who'd choose a diamond over a tree? Outcropping. I am an outcropping in this current of conversation. Words rush around me, gurgling with connection, information, pathways of presence. Still I remain solid, silent, unable to transform into fluid, to join the flow that surges onward. Sometimes the wetness of a hello or pertinent question sloshes across me, and I moisten a little, causing tiny granules to journey onward, leaving behind a bit more smoothness, bringing slightly closer to view trilobites, gold, and years of hidden history I truly desire to have be discovered by you. And I read that for Autism Awareness Month. Remember me, a stranger who came to stay a while. Remember me, a happy man with a joke, a laugh, a smile. Remember how my actions spoke of God and love. Remember how I soothed you through my gestures and a hug. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Storm. Appreciate that. Shanties just have a way of digging themselves into my head, and if anyone remembers the Weller Man song and the dance that came with it, I always imagine that in my head now every time I hear one of those. Kind of like Homer seeing Turkey in the straw and seeing the little bird in the cup. Simpsons fans get it. Anyway, okay, we have a full list. A lot of people. I'm just gonna go right into it. Keep going, keep going. We come back to El Paso for Robin Schofield. And Robin, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Let's get you on the spotlight. Hello, hello, happy Monday.
Hello, Richie. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day. Nice weather. And I'm going to do some tumble words pieces they're not new, but I haven't gotten them out of the notebook yet. But this was from a year ago. It was from Richie Marrufo's workshop. All right. So it doesn't have a title. I'm sitting by a cottonwood tree by the Rio Grande when William Blake walks by and says, "The tree is full of dark angels." The sun is shining, as it always is in El Paso, and Shelley takes a canoe out on Escarate Lake. He'll have to wait for July for the monsoon, for a good storm. I went to Yates's dank, cold tower and saw the jackdaws and ravens nesting in the stairways. No wonder Michael caught pneumonia there. Who needs visions when you live in a tower with a winding stair? I spent the day in a hammock and thought of James Wright. I too have wasted my life. The turquoise and orange sunset is beautiful. Once I baked Emily Dickinson's coconut cake. She was quite the baker and would hand out her goodies to the neighborhood kids through the windows of the house in Amherst. She tied up her poems in ribbons and told Lavinia to burn her papers after her death. Lavinia, her sister, bless her, couldn't do it when she saw the fascicles lovingly tied with ribbons. Okay, that's the first one. And this one is from May 4th. Oh, wait, am I skipping one? Oh, I'm skipping one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is from my workshop on April 27th. So we're still in Poetry Month last year. And I was doing a poetry workshop on metaphors and simile. Roads like rivers of exhaust. Take the new road, they said. So I did and got T-boned by a truck. My car whirled like a dervish, exactly 1/2 circle. The side airbags deployed like pillows for my swinging head. My glasses flew off like the pigeons to the passenger side. I retrieved them and stumbled out. The other driver so overjoyed to see me alive and halfway whole. It seems too much for the occasion, but not like he's drunk at 7:30 a.m., just too jolly like a Salvation Army Santa. He reaches out to hug me. I shrink back like a violet. A true story. Okay, so this is from Kit's workshop on a poem I read last week, I think, didn't I? Read Why I'm Not a Painter by Frank O'Hara. So I wanted to read this poem. This is from May 4th last year. My graceful friend cannot move her left arm anymore and walks with a cane since her stroke. She was a dancer, still graceful in her limping gait, useless left arm in a sling. She came to my poetry reading and bought the book to see what words I danced across the page. I want to touch her shoulder, tell her that she's still graceful. Instead, I just tell her that the book is eco-poetry. How timely, she says in her graceful way. I have heard of writers like Joyce Carey typing with a pencil gripped in the mouth after a stroke. I can only hope that I remain graceful like my friend, the dancer who cannot dance. Okay. So, now I'm going to read my cover poem because it's his birthday this week. William Shakespeare. Oh yeah, I was wondering when he was born. Here it says right here, 1564 to 1616. So yeah, how old is he? Oh, 500 and, wow, someone else do the math. Okay, this is Sonnet 98. From you have I been absent in the spring, when proud-pied April, dressed in all his trim, hath put a spirit of youth in everything. That heavy Saturn laughed and leapt with him. Yet nor the lays of birds, nor the sweet smell of different flowers in odor and in hue, could make me any summer's story tell, or from their proud lap pluck them where they grew. Nor did I wonder at the lilies white, nor praise the deep vermilion of the rose. They were but sweet, but figures of delight, drawn after you, you pattern of all those. Yet seemed it winter still and you away, as with your shadow, I with these did play. All right, William Shakespeare, one of his better sonnets, in my opinion. And who knows who he was pining for? You know, whether male or female or somebody kind of in between who was in theater, you know? So, do come to Tumble Words. It's on Saturdays at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, 1 to 3. And Kit Wren runs that, and he'll tell you more about it when he comes up. So, back to you, Richie.
All right. Thank you, Robin. As always, thanks for getting to share pieces that you wrote at Tumblewords. I think as writers, and something I've been experiencing is just like, as you say, Tumblr, confronting the blank page, right? It's a little anxiety inducing. It's tough, you know? So I think just the practice of doing it, and that's something I'm learning from the 30 for 30 challenge. I'm forcing myself to write something, even if it sucks. It's something, and it's something that might spark something else or trigger something further down the line. And so it's an interesting practice for sure. And again, thanks to everyone who has been reading the posts that we've been sharing. Marlubi in the house. I saw you in there as well. Stephen Molina has been sharing some haikus. Thank you guys for all your participation in that. Okay, like once again, let's go and keep things going. We are gonna go ahead and travel a little bit of a little west of here, a little place maybe you've heard of it, Los Angeles, where we've got our dear friend Sandy Shakes ready to rock the mic as always. Sandy, rare but a treat. Welcome back to the show. When you're ready, go and take it away.
What's up, poets? It's been a long time, but I love this mic so close to my heart. One piece, and that's it, because I want to hear y'all. Here we go. Cuando mi corazón está bien, anuncio. When my heart is vibing higher than human, I announce. Yo vivo dentro del pueblo de Nuestra Señora de Los Ángeles. I reside within the borders of the town belonging to Our Lady of the Angels. But when my mascara is smeared, my royal title is lost. A 4 a.m. Uber driver kind of lost. With the girl who mumbles LA and thinks if she prays, the sins will come out of her pores and her stomach will let go of all the lies and poison she smoked. Guadalupe resides amongst an east side sunset. Sometimes she is the lady selling avena in the morning with the sight of hope for our mothers, because the coldness of Christmas leaves her heart shivering for a warm reminder that she has not failed another year. She doesn't remember this kind of hunger where the dirt was her soul's color, and she didn't have to learn to text, por favor, ten piedad de nosotros, to a landlord that put her rented roof on sale to a higher bidder. Guadalupe shines cars at 7 in the morning with the tattoo of La Virgen on an ex-convict who could never wipe his record clean no matter how much dish soap he uses at his car wash jale. Raza turned to bochos, turned to fourth-generation no sabo kids who accuse this man of stealing their vape, changing their stereo settings to a muted culture, no Spanish playlist. Guadalupe walks home after working the night shift, protecting illegal plants, hoping they don't find out she has illegal hands. The dispensary she works at doesn't ask questions and calls her Pita. So she smiles and says, Gracias, Virgencita, por otro día, even when she second hands the most potent 6-foot-tall hybrids. She welcomes her numbing tongue, reminds her not to talk back to the güeros. My mother found a direct line to the original Virgen de Guadalupe, so it is no surprise that she was born a miracle and thus named Rosario. It was a pact between my grandmother and La Gran Señora, forever giving this little baby the power to use her rosary beads for all the time she would need saving. My mother has used her lifeline very well, and now I pray over her in silence, a pact between a force greater than myself, between two morenitas. Rest in peace, abuelita. I know amongst the beautiful prayers and thousands of roses, esta madrecita sees me. I believe the mama in her sees the struggle in the mama in me. Looking up at her and sending the last bit of love I have left before hiding my tears from my son's innocent joy, I have an unexplainable feeling that her protection guarded me from myself. and she has forgiven me for all the things I failed to be.
Damn. Okay. Last line. Okay. A lot of lines actually, like Robin said. But really quick, how can people follow and support you online? Because I know a lot of people are seeing you for the first time.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here again. Yes, I used to be here a long time ago. Um, Please follow me on Sandy Shakes the Mic on Instagram. Follow on my projects. I'm gonna do some live stuff pretty soon. And yeah, this is community. So come back here and definitely hit Tumble Words. That keeps your pen fresh for sure. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, poets.
Yeah, love it. Keep the pen fresh. Órale, poeta. That's right. Sandy Shakes on the mic. Okay, we're gonna go and keep this thing moving along, and we're gonna go from LA to where are we going? South Euclid, Ohio, where we've got Doc Janning ready to go. Doc, when you're ready, go take it away. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Chimera. To sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. Crossing the divide of self, the body cannot. Amidst all the whispered soundscapes of life. Dreaming, we rewrite the intangible stars. Paint them in all the flavors of our longing and all the colors of Saudade and Hiraeth. Creating visions of an unremembered future from shards and detritus of the past, we design our universe, a new chimera. Gathering those myriad fragments, we shape and create a longed-for whole into the waking dawn of a new world. This is duality of being. Dreams of time exist in infinite moments, in moments of singularity and the chimera of forever. Visions proliferate across dimensions, each another moment, a moment of surreality in the duality of being and life. Life is in the symbiosis mind and body. Isis unveiled. I sing of nature's mysteries, a deeper knowledge, an esoteric knowledge, and an intuitive knowledge. A knowledge of the oneness, the intimate nexus, the innate mysteries, the interconnectedness, and existential understanding, a revelation, the truth of all. And I will finish with ancient voices. Ancient Aeolian voices sing through millennia, eons, epochs, and ages. They sing of past, present, and future in arcane tongues of time. They reflect in echoes of light and shadow across land and sea, and write their songs in a palette of dawn and dusk, evoked in their primordial fires. Songs of infinity reverberating across worlds, worlds unknown, unremembered, worlds which never were. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I was muted again. I'm sorry. How can people follow you online?
I'm only on Facebook and Facebook Messenger, so follow me there. Not that I
Okay.
post a lot.
All right, perfect. Thank you. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get back here. I want to make sure that our screen sharing is on because our next performer always uses it. That's right. We're actually going to go ahead and leave the States and visit our friend in Malaysia, where we have Julian Matthews. And I want to make sure you're actually in the Zoom room with us. Double check. Is that not the case? Okay, no, I do not see him. So Julian Matthews, if you're watching on YouTube, roll call, if you want to come on through. If not, we're gonna go ahead and continue on the list. And we've got not Nito returning again. Speaking of a second time performer, last week was the debut. Joining us from Louisiana, we've got not Nito. So have you had a chance to set up, my friend? Hello, hello. What's up? Wait, did I mess up the order? Hold on. Julian. Oh, I'm sorry. I did skip someone. I'm sorry. I think really quick, sorry. Yes, Boba Baluba. There we go. I heard you on there. The duck threw me off. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and have our friend join us, and after that it's not So if you need to set up, you can go ahead and do that. But let me my mouse is not working. Hey guys, if you're just tuning in, by the way, this is our online mic. We're speeding through pretty big list today. So we're gonna go ahead and bring up Baba Baluba. So when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. I'm sorry, I saw you unmuted, so here you are. Let's pin you here so people can see your name.
Gracias.
And yeah.
Okay. I had some stuff put aside. Here we go. My poetry is a napkin. It really tries to serve its purpose, but it finds itself in one of those metal restaurant napkin dispensers. Napkins get stuck in that people stick their fingers into to unstick the next napkin, ripping it and possibly the next one till a full napkin exits the dispenser. Sometimes my poetry is a small square bar napkin. A bartender hands a patron eating chicken wings as if anything besides a full-size dinner napkin would be appropriate, which is totally unfair to the chicken wing eater who won't be able to properly wipe sauce and blue cheese dressing from his face. But every once in a while, my poetry is a fancy cloth machine washable dinner napkin that not only feels soft against my cheek, but is absorbent enough to clean any sauce or condiment before being thrown into a washing machine to come out raring and ready to excise more messy thoughts that dare exit my mind. Let's see, poem 2. Okay. Snake Handling 101. My body is no longer made of blood, skin, and bones. It is composed of words, an awkward array of grammatical errors and run-on sentences coiled around my identity like a Burmese python, squeezing out every ounce of life ready me to be eaten whole. Fingers and toes are clever little rhymes. Arms and legs are profound metaphors of life-changing events. My synapses are made of like and as. My nervous system is a smorgasbord of scrambled similes. When I get cut, I bleed axioms and idioms. When I eat greasy food, I fart adages and quotable quotes. Every hair on my body is made of ed and ing, participles hanging and dangling from precipices of impropriety, waiting to fall into chasms of criticism. My ears are periods and question marks that hear too much for their own good. My left eye says hello, and my right eye says goodbye, so no one knows. So no one can tell whether I'm coming or going. My nose sneezes snot that screams shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, because the late, great George Carlin taught me a little dirty don't hurt nobody. My lips never know when to stay shut, while my teeth are exclamation points trying to make the world a better place. I am a poet. I don't have to follow rules. I invent words. I don't always capitalize beginnings of sentences. Sometimes I don't capitalize at all. Sometimes I don't punctuate. My sophomore English teacher, Marie Gonzalez, would have a field day with her little red pen. She was a less than mediocre teacher who only excelled at emotionally abusing students. There is no way she was a poet. Zen did not exist in her disposition. And unlike her, I enjoyed the field day that is the English language with its endless mazes and optical illusions with no solutions. Mrs. G can go fuck herself and her army of Burmese pythons. I will defang and devenom each one with one silly pun and turn them into lapdogs. Um, let's change it to the real reason the pyramids were built. I was told a decision I made could unravel my future, but time, aka past, present, and future, is in a constant state of flux. Present becomes past once future happens. This cycle continues on a moment by moment basis ad infinitum. Think of time as a ball of yarn with just enough yarn to roll down the side of a Giza pyramid. One end of the ball of yarn is attached to a post at the top of the pyramid. As it rolls down the side of the pyramid, unraveling, a waggly tailed Labrador retriever impatiently awaits its arrival because its owner had soaked a tennis ball in beef broth, let it dry out, then threaded and wrapped enough yarn to roll down the side of a Giza pyramid around the ball. As the ball of yarn unraveled, the desert wind sent the scent of beef to the dog. When the tennis ball arrived, the dog grabbed the ball in its mouth and pulled it till the final length of yarn exited the ball. Think of the complete ball of yarn as the past, which turned into the present as it unraveled, and finally became the future when the dog started gnawing at it. So if someone ever tells you a mistake you made could unravel your future, tell them the physics of time disallows for the future to unravel. I'm just going to do one more piece that I've been reading a bit lately called Fight of the Bumblebee. I've got to get to the top of the page. Bear with me. There we go. Fight of the Bumblebee. Bzzz. Hey, hey, Bumblebee. What you doing buzzing around me? I didn't ask for your bite or your sting. Please fly away and leave me be. Bzzz. Wait, what's that buzzing I hear? I think it's that bumblebee flying round my ear. I thought I told him to leave me alone. Maybe I should swat him, then he'll be dead and gone. Yes, he's driving me so bonkers I'm about to fall off my rocker. But hold on, God made him just like God made me. And I guess that bumblebee don't mean no harm. He's one little guy, not a whole swarm. I think I'll let him land on my arm. So I hold up my arm and begin to walk. Next thing I know, that bumblebee begins to talk. You human beings, I don't understand your kind. You think we bumblebees just fly around and buzz, buzz, buzz. Your narrow minds just ruffle my fuzz. Hey, hey, bumblebee, what you doing buzzing around me? What right do you have cutting me and my own down? He just says us bumblebees got minds of our own. We do much more than buzzing and flying around. Then he flew away, speeding through the air, and it didn't take long to forget he was there. Thank you, everyone.
Pretty cool. Brent, can you tell us about your projects, your cafe, Generalissimo, and other stuff you got going on, how people can find you?
Yeah, well, I am on Facebook and Instagram, and Cafe Journalism is now the second and third Monday of every month at 5:30 Eastern to 7:45. Just drop on in, read a poem, leave, whatever. And I just wanted to say, Sandy Shakes, you are spectacular in so many different ways. And thank you for being here. And Richie and Kit, I love Tumble Words, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to come in a long time, but this is wonderful. And of course, Robin, you're it.
All right, absolutely. Very cool stuff, man. Yeah, it has been a while, but to be fair, it's you're 2 hours ahead of us. It gets late. But yeah, I appreciate when you can. I know that it's super late or early, depending for some of you. I know some of you are still like Paul, thanks for sticking around. I know it's super early. He said it was like 3:30 a.m. over there. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're getting there. We're getting to the list. In fact, there's a couple people here who are not into who haven't made it into the room yet. So we're gonna go ahead and do like a skip a little bit. But first, before we do that, we have Not Nito back in the room and made his debut last week. So when you're ready, let's go and take it away. Welcome back, man.
Hello, how's everybody?
All right.
Uh, my name is Natnito Josue Austin. Is it my shit fucked up? Anyway, okay. So, I was not aware of how many types of different poetry there are. So I took it upon myself to begin studying the different forms of poetry and begin writing different forms of poetry. I want to begin with these two small pieces that I have. One is a haiku. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
We can
Yes,
hear you
yeah,
loud and clear.
Oh, okay, my bad. Uh, this one is called Lifeline. Like I said, haikus are, 575 short, most of them. Anyway, it goes, resistance or flee. You must fight for what you love. Existence is key. And that's Lifeline. That's probably lame or whatever. But anyway, to the next one. This is I think I'm pronouncing it right, is a limerick. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe. But anyhow, these are written in AABBA fashion, form, or however, meter or whatever. So anyway, this is called Meaning. Um, it says, life is like a limerick or box of chocolates gift. Be sweet or gump in forest. Love or be boxed in storage. Your story deliberate. And anyway, that's called Meaning Limerick, and that's pretty much all I have for this evening. I was gonna do Manifest, but I'm really not in the mood to be honest. But I appreciate everybody listening, and next week I have some longer works because I know people like to have long pieces and they're beautiful pieces. And two guys before me about the farts or whatever, man, that was the funniest shit I ever heard in my life. Uh, anyway, y'all have a good night. Follow me on Spotify, please. So, or YouTube, whatever you want. And I promise to do the 30/30. So, all right, bye.
all right, love it, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. And honestly, I really got to appreciate the fact that you weren't feeling that. You're like, you know what, not tonight, because I think that's a fair thing to do from time to time, and we got to recognize it first, right, before we can accept it. So props on that, man. I'm trying to be better about feeling it and taking a night off when I need to, especially with all this stuff. Yeah, that's cool to read. Also, limericks are interesting because some would say they have to have like a little like humor, sometimes body or like joke, sometimes suggestive, but not always, but oh yeah, see, there you go. Robin is on point there in the chat. Uh, anyway, we're gonna keep going. Like I mentioned, we did have a few performers. Let me double check that aren't here in the Zoom room with us. We're gonna go ahead and kind of fast forward a little bit, which is fine by me. We're gonna go ahead and go ahead and move to, let's see who's next. Oh, we got Halebrook in the house. Gonna share some spoken word, and Halebrook's been making to a lot of our events, and I really appreciate that. So when you are ready, let's go to get you in the room. There's the axolotl, inspired part of my 21 out of 30 poem today. All right, so when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Good evening, beautiful people, and what's goody in the neighborhoody? This is Hellbrook. First poem is Persist. I've grown tired of shaming across a dying earth, cursed with the gift of self-awareness, hoping to feel a sense of belonging. I rue the muggy, sunny summer day of my birth, being forced to live a life of constant unfairness and existence that I lost interest in prolonging. Next up is No One Knows. No one knows what it's like to feel something no one has ever felt before. There's nothing new under the sun that pierces through the graying skies and dries the rain-slick residue of malice after an unrelenting downpour, and casts its rays of truth to combat the invading shade of corrupting lies. You're neither the first weary soul to be left wanting for something more, nor the first to lose sight of your blessings through forgetful eyes. And before you cross the threshold of life's one-way wooden door, I pray that the graceful one uncovers the truths you have yet to realize. Next up is Distraction Machine. Or I'm sorry, The Distraction Machine. Our hearts and minds willfully reside within the bars of unlocked cages, a cage draped in the tattered blankets of the ills and mirages of social media, hypnotizing the masses and siphoning their ire and desire to fuel their chaotic rituals, dividing humanity and drawing from their rivers of blood and tears of the division. Wipe the filth from your windows and inject the eyes with antibodies. Take your daily doses of reality to rid yourself of the mimetic syphilis. Like drinking brackish water from a bedazzled chalice and being told it's the finest wine. Like breathing in the stench of gaslight and being told it's the soul of an exotic flower. What's a 1 to a 99? They get the mighty dollar and we have to fight tooth and nail per cent. They hoard their wealth like dragons, but they're prideful cowards. If we're to be beasts of burden, tasked to carry the weight of the world on our backs, the least that we can do is be selective and choose the valuable nuggets of truth and wisdom, and discard the useless baubles and trinkets that buckle our calloused and creaking knees, forcing us to kneel before overlords who aspire to be revered like gods, when they're just living embodiments of greed bound together with apathetic twine, tightly packed under the cloth of business suits, masquerading as humans in public, but shed the convincing facade and laugh at us in their ballrooms and galas and marble floor bathrooms and country clubs and private jets and redacted islands with abducted children as their carry-on luggage. Last one, I got inspired. I wrote a song. I'm not going to sing it because I want to play guitar and actually perform it. But I was listening to Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, and I got inspired, and I wrote this song titled Willow Tree, also known as Love Song to the Goddess Hecate. In the twilight of harvest's end, my ragged breath starts to expend. An intersection between the veil, above the horizon, the moon glows pale. Weary heart lost in a maze of woe, broken compass, unsure where to go. I've grown tired of the ebb and flow, rather wither than remain on the bow. Though it may be distant memory, vestiges are still haunting me. Those dreadful voices still call for me, like weeping souls on a willow tree. Though it may be distant memory, vestiges are still haunting me. Those dreadful voices still call for me, like weeping souls on a willow tree. I stood within the threshold of wax and wane, heard a mournful howl across that sacred plain, felt the cold slither of a creeping serpent before the lady's silhouette became emergent, beside a sad tree riddled with bowing limb, adorned with flowers with faces twisted grim. Torch in her left hand and skeleton key in her right, she guided me through the darkest of night, with weeping flowers at my back, begging me to return to the black. Though it may be distant memory, vestiges are still haunting me. Those dreadful voices still call for me, like weeping souls on a willow tree. Thank you and good night.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool, man. And clap. Yeah, clap it up. Yeah. Thanks, Hillbrook. And shout out to Axolotl. You guys probably couldn't see it on YouTube. Could you? I don't know if you could. But I mentioned last time, got the great voice. Now I was thinking about it this time around. If you did a voice pack and I could download it to my GPS, I would never miss a direction. I'd be like, turn right to two blocks. I'm like, yes, sir. Immediately. Got it. All right. No, but please put in the chat any links. I know you're talking about some stuff, some groups that you were working with earlier, and if you've got that. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, awesome stuff, man. We're gonna go ahead and keep going. In fact, next up, you've heard a lot about Tumblr words tonight, and as usual, and so the one who leads it and will give you a little bit more info on what's coming up, of things to come, so to speak. We've got Mr. Monday Night, who will be hosting Thursday at Old Sheepdog. We've got Kit Ran. All right, when you're ready, let's get you on here. So where are you?
I got you.
There you are. What up?
Yeah, because I can do that too. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone. I'll 3 of mine and then the cover. I'll try to be quick. It's the prayer for the mutilators of the world. May all your faith be misplaced. May all your weaknesses be flashing and obvious. May the parts of you that you've chosen to starve still shuffle on, malnourished but nagging, like a certain cricket. May you come to a moment of contrition and sorrow, and may your path to rehabilitation be inconvenient and daunting, so that we can be firm in your sincerity. Forgiveness is available for everyone, but you have to seek it. We must be sure you did not stumble in blind and accidental. May you look around and see yourself alone and understand how counterfeit your brotherhood is. Yukio Mishima, the only fascist worth remembering, put into the mouth of his last character, if he was not real, I am no longer sure if I am even an I. I am not asking you to commit harakiri, as Mishima did. It's complicated and expensive, and even your blood won't get out of my genes. But I want you to sit with that question. Am I an I? May it pop into your head every time that night becomes morning. May it visit you at every silent place. May it haunt you and stall you at the crucible as your starved kindness calls for water. And yeah, that's an old one, but I hadn't drug it out in a bit. So put its outdoor clothes on, its little booties, so it can go outside. I want to talk about the things that don't matter as if they do. I want the only raised voices to be joyous. I want no unspoken tension. I want all negative emotions to be no more than a playful ritual act. They can't be killed entirely, but they can be declawed, made subservient to a higher, kinder force. I want all tears to be performative and all smiles to be genuine. I want our differences to be topics of interest instead of means of control. I want every great work to be without an author. I will not ask anyone to forgive unilaterally, but I want everyone who seeks forgiveness to find it. I want their apologies to not be boilerplate or rehearsed, but spontaneous and, if possible, totally wordless. I want the nonpartisan roar of a football crowd that just saw what they cannot describe and don't care which team scores anymore. Their cheers join as a white noise that never fades or resolves into signal until amazement is the only thing we can feel, until thank you is the only thing we can say. And don't have a title for this one, taking suggestions. Stalin was a poet. It's true. Not exemplary, but he worked at it. He tried. So there were steps even he couldn't take. He'd harass and carry away Osip Mandelstam, part ideology and part jealousy. But he couldn't touch Mandelstam's weapon. Even a man of steel has his limits. It's actually more dangerous when the dictator likes you. Ask Mikhail Bulgakov, the reluctant director of the Moscow theater. Stalin would have kept him like a cat, but like a cat, he ran away. He couldn't handle the stakes of writing for an audience of one. Or what if one day our great comrade Stalin changes his mind, follows a new fashion, and nothing you did or were doing meant anything at all? At least Mandelstam got to write what he wanted. A childish definition of freedom, but children get it right more often than we do, because they don't care what happens to them. In this mad era, may we all write with the freedom of a child ignoring a crosswalk. I'm going to link to a poem that I'm not covering, but today was an interesting day in the history of El Paso. Patrick Crocius was sentenced to life in prison, and I have to let go of my anger and let go of what would feel good and submit to a higher form of justice. I am trying. That's all I can say is I am trying. So a poem by Alessandra Narvaez Varela about the 23 victims of August 3rd, 2019 is in the chat for you to read at your leisure. But I'm going to read a different poem that's also going through my head as I try. I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd, as Samuel L. Jackson once said. But this is Enemies by Wendell Berry. If you are not to become a monster, you must care what they think. If you care what they think, how will you not hate them? And so become a monster of the opposite kind. From where then is love to come? Love for your enemy, that is the way of liberty. From forgiveness, forgiven, they go free of you, and you of them. They are to you as sunlight on a green branch. You must not think of them again, except as monsters, like yourself. Pitiable, because unforgiving. Governor Knife. He'll set things right. Yes, as many people were kind enough to mention, I run Tubble Words, which is a generative writing workshop that meets most Saturdays. Not this last Saturday because of Easter weekend. Sorry, Ed. Ed logged on anyway. That's funny to me. That's actually kind of touching. So this week it's going to be Sil Munoz, a local writer of quite a bit of power. And hopefully a little more fame after you all come to Tumblewords and hear a presentation called Wounds to Words. I'll be hosting this Thursday at Old Sheepdog. That's always a great time. I just be out here and I'll hand it back to Richie, and I will hold court at great length at the after party like always. But yes, everyone have a great night.
All right, thank you, Kit. Appreciate that. As always for that. Looking forward to hearing about Thursday at Old Sheepdog. And thanks for mentioning too Alessandra's poem. She invited me to speak to her graduate students at UTEP, her MFA students, so about performance and stuff like that. So that's gonna be super fun. Looking forward to that in a couple weeks. But right now, we have a debut, at least here on the online mic. She performed once earlier when we did our team up collaboration with EPCC Chrysalis at the Gabriel Dozal reading at Falstaff. And she did a great job. So I'm super happy she's here with us today. We have Ethereal Loose on the mic. Let me go ahead and get you spotlighted. And when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Welcome to the show. There you are.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, technical difficulties. My name's Luz. Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys today, with everybody. So I will be saying possibly 3 poems. The first one, I wrote it a couple months ago. I don't have a title for it, but maybe you guys can help me in the comment section. Okay. Alas, we meet in the highest level of existence. Once we were written in the stars, now we've delved therein, traveling through the nexus of our love into the celestial beauty that surrounds herein. Shy are the stars that you pass by, for you are the most radiant light of all. Finally, we roam freely, without the shackles of the days of yesteryear, forever through this ethereal realm, holding your hand as we venture into the universe, just as it was planned. Alrighty, here's my second one. This one I wrote one foggy El Paso evening. A fog wraps the autumn sky, a shroud of gray hiding the mountains away. The sun dips low, but does not stay. It bleeds a faint and sullen hue, a quiet farewell to the day that we knew. Through the mist of your eyes, they still gleam, a flicker of warmth in the fading beam. I feel the glow of your love that quiets the storms life throws. And in your gaze, I find my home, no matter where in this world I may roam. Now, this one is gonna be fun. This last one, it's a rap song that I wrote when I was in high school. So this is like years old, and I tweaked it a little, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm gonna try to keep it as like a best flow that I can. Alrighty. Look in my mind, you'll find truth, pain that I've been through, make you want to dig deeper into the mystery of my presence. Wait, give me a second and let me introduce you to this powerful life and what it could lead to. Conscious level you reach to, have a deeper understanding of everything that we've been through. Open up your mind, can't you see what's under? Let me unravel the mystery of our being with the knowledge that's in me, but don't let me get too deep. You see, I got the mind of the soldier, the soul of a seeker, and I speak to the silent to unite us deeper. But let me just remind you what this life really teaches. Stay true, stay loyal, no matter what it reaches. This life ain't kind to the ones who won't grow. Get stuck in the dark, never learning to glow. This world is cold and it'll leave you in a twirl, but don't let this cruel world change what you preserve. Keep on walking and talking with your heart and see how positive minds can change what people have sought. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a lovely night.
Awesome. Thank you. And really quick, do you have like a public poetry page or somewhere where people can support your like creative stuff?
I don't have one at the moment. I do have an Instagram. You guys are more than welcome to follow me. It's at ethereal uz, so like ethereal loose and an underscore. And in my bio, actually, I have tagged my my photography account, and I do like to take pictures and stuff, and post some like creative words that I come up with from time to time.
Very cool. Love it. And very cool background. You even had like the thing where it keeps your face in view. So it had like a professional cameraman following you around as you through the room. Oh, that was cool. And hopefully you get to see you at another in-person open mic. We got a lot of writers ones, and we have had ciphers before too, some hip hop ciphers. So be on the lookout for that. Again, thank you, Luce, for joining us. Ethereal Luce. I like the portmanteau that you made too on the name. There you go. But we're gonna go ahead and keep it going from a light to a melody. Finding light in a melody. See what I did there? Next up, we have Melody Gomez, Wreck-It Bell online as well. So, Melody. So good seeing you. Happy you're here with us. So when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hey.
Hi guys, I missed you. So I've been working on myself a lot, and my therapist challenged me um to start using my own interventions of like narrative therapies on myself. Such a bitchy move, by the way. And so I have, and so this is kind of a reworking and then a couple of new pieces too, based on different stages of life. Um, but we're starting with one called Reparenting, approximately adolescence. I know that the price of convenience is my health and happiness because luxuries are dirt cheap, consequences, blank checks cashed, pending charges. Freedom cost me everything that I hold dear, and I don't have enough experience to know what it looks like to rob Peter to pay karma. All I know for sure is that existence feels like free falling. When I'm older and everything hurts, every day will bring the end of something, a little death, an orgasm. One of the reasons that I cry all through Christmas is the decorations. There's no fucking time for decoration, only preparation for war. Grasshoppers winter, nevermore. Someone has to be right. right? Can I rest? Is there someone, anyone who will watch while I just close my eyes for a sec? And at this point, it doesn't matter what you do to my body, my mind's the only thing free. And it's exhausting because nobody knows that but me. And I'm sure that from behind the bars of their personal prisons, I look captivated. But isn't that all that matters? I don't know anymore. Revolt or rest, my battery seems to only charge by the river of tea and not much else these days. Hope is so hard to come by. Why isn't anyone doing anything? Why aren't you standing up? You and you. Yeah, that's right. Me. Can we all just agree that all of this is just too much? Oh, the humanity. Well, it's a well of hope so low even the basin is desiccated heels. Thick-skinned ravine, so cracked it would take a Disney Pixar parent losing miracle flash flood to bring it back to life. Life and loss, there's no end to this shit. But there is the same end for all, the end, the big end. How many of you furrowed your brow at the thought of that? Say it. Death is going to happen. But you get to choose what you do with that knowledge. You get to choose if you fight your demons in the deep, thirsty arroyos. The battles will never be anywhere convenient. You don't get to choose the current, but you do get to choose how to write it. Skepticism. Freeze, you're it. What are you going to do about it, loser? Life taunts. I don't know, this pressure, it's too much. It's never ending. And nonetheless, I persist. Because a family wrought with pride will swallow itself. I don't believe that we're born evil, evidenced by what I've seen a lot of people do in the dark. Desperate nights. I argue that we only have that with which we have been equipped. So teach. Whether we like it or not, the only people who have a vote are the ones who have access to communication. So be the conduit. Learn not only from the loudest or the wisest, but also the softest and the curiousest. So gather the voices of the youngest, the working voices, the voiceless, the immobile, the ones with hands held out, the tired ones doing the holding, a stable hand held low and ready. And that's it. You're doing it. You're doing a lot more than you think you are. And it's time to apologize to yourself and let your defenses rest. This choir of change is slow and many, giving each of us time to ready. And once you get that peace isn't possible, the world's a little bit easier to swallow. Peace is cut from possibility, not one size fits all, whose peace is the template. And those who choke trying to keep up, chew with your goddamn mouth closed, Melody. You look like a goddamn cow. Well, if we truly believe in the freedom of choice, then allow me the freedom of mine. Do I have time for another one or no?
I totally wasn't paying attention at the time. Kit?
If it's on the short side, yes, you're like right in the Goldilocks zone right now. So
Goldilocks zone.
Okay, then I'll pass it because the other one is not short either. But I'll try to attend an open mic this week. It was nice to see
we
you
have
guys.
3 of them. But also, if you want to join us next Monday, if people are seeing you for the first time, how can they follow and support you online?
I'll put my Instagram handle in my email. I run a little nonprofit on the side, and we do a lot of advocacy for youth with disabilities, we do a lot of advocacy work. Well, for anybody who feels as though they need, you know, some help standing up. We used to do primarily youth, but now we teach communication skills to adults, but it's usually by request only. And so it's just kind of word of mouth. So you can message me, or, you know, if you just want some information, I can give it to you. But I'll put those in the chat right now.
Awesome, please. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God, what amazing. What a piece. I see why you wrote it. Uh, oh, hey guys, we have another a first time here today. Joining us from the UK. I wonder, wait, are you still here? Because I know it's super early. Yeah, okay. We have Paul Clark joining us from Southampton, UK. I know you got here. I'm sure you woke up really early or stayed up really late. Let's
I
find out. But welcome to the show. There you
Thank
go.
you.
Okay,
Not
cool.
actually quite my first time. I think I came as an audience in about 2021 or 22 or something, just once. But I'm not normally up this late. Anyway, welcome from pre-dawn central south coast of England. Couple of songs. We mentioned gardens. I think David and Ed probably were into their gardens. So here's a bit of a song of that. Once upon a time I found a garden, picked the brightest things that I could see, an armful of Mr. Harding's flowers. Didn't know that he was watching me. Straight away my mother ran to tell him, wondering what he would say or do. But Mr. Harding smiled and said, he's just a little child. I knew that he'd be picking them for you. By the fire my dad would read me stories. One of them concerned a garden too, where the lion and the lamb lay down together. Every lovely fruit and flower grew. The gardener let his children in to play there, delighting in the brightness of the day. But when they went exploring and took a fruit to taste, he cursed them both and sent them on their way. Even then it struck me in my childish mind he was no proper sort of gardener, of the Mr. Harding kind. Mr. Harding's garden was o'ertaken by lesser men with concrete in their minds. Factory chimneys grew instead of daisies. No butterflies from that assembly line. Mum, she faded faster than a flower. Dad sat in the darkness and cried. Mr. Harding walks a little slower than before, but still he tends the graves where they lie. Wherever it is they've gone to, I hope that there they find a proper sort of garden, of the Mr. Harding kind. The foolish person sometimes feels despairing, because it proves so difficult to find what children seem to plant so freely everywhere they go, that special love, the Mr. Harding kind. Someday when I'm older, I hope that I will find that I've become a proper sort of gardener, of the Mr. Harding kind. And this other one has a also positive message, but possibly a bit more along your the general lines I've been hearing here. This is called Big Floppy Hats by Stephen Christie Neagle. I had a dream last night, a dream about a world gone mad. Pollution standards were relaxed, there was lots and lots of money to be made. They were talking about building bigger cars, they logged the forests of the national parks. Slave labour was the order of the day, they said it kept them off of welfare anyway. I didn't like that world, so I thought about a world I'd like, where if some people have bad thoughts, everyone would be very, very nice. Everyone would wear big floppy shoes, everyone would wear a big floppy hat, everyone would wear a big red nose. I mean, who could be mean in a world like that? In their big roomy pants and their big floppy hat. I had a dream last night, a dream about a world gone mad. There was a man with his finger on the trigger, just seeing that made me feel bad. People sitting round a big long table, every one of them had guns too. They were threatening to shoot each other if they didn't do the things they said to. I didn't like that world, so I thought about a world I'd like, where if some people have bad thoughts, everyone would be very, very nice. Everyone would wear big floppy shoes, everyone would wear a big floppy hat, everyone would wear a big red nose. I mean, who could be mean in a world like that? In their big roomy pants and their big floppy hat. I had a dream last night about a world that seemed pretty nice. Everybody wore big red smiles, 'cause they were painted all over their faces. They were dancing round a big green field. There were people from all across the planet. There were people representing every race. Seemed to be a very happy place. I really liked that world. I didn't find myself thinking twice. There was every skin colour in the world, and everyone was very, very nice. Everyone was wearing big floppy shoes, everyone wore a big floppy hat, everybody wore a big red nose. I mean, who could be mean in a world like that? In their big roomy pants and their big floppy hat. There were people dancing everywhere, everyone wearing big floppy hats. I mean, who could be mean in a world like that?
Cool. Do you have a website, place where people can hear your music? Or
One of my email handles is the man from Uncool, so because I'm so untechnological, so I don't do any of that sort of stuff. So, but thank you, Ian.
That's ironically very cool, though. Thanks for joining us, Paul. Every Monday, if you have insomnia, come on through. Or if you wake up super early, we'd love to have you more. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, lovely song. Why did David? You're in charge now, man. I don't know why I went to you. That was weird. It's a good thing you were presentable. I don't know. We've caught people sleeping before. Not that that was worth sleeping over, right? That was awesome stuff. Put some love in the chat there again for Paul. Thanks for joining us. All right. We are gonna go ahead. Okay, now he's here. We tried to call him up earlier, but now he's here. We're gonna go to Malaysia, where we have Julian Matthews with us. And Julian, you should have the share screen already available. So go ahead and take it away when you're ready. Hello.
Hi, thank you. Just two short ones. This one is called Peanut Butter. I'm glad I don't have a nut allergy. In fact, I may have the opposite, an affinity to nuttiness and all the crazies that comes with it. God knows I've had to live with it, to confront it, to wrestle with its restlessness, its drama, its melancholia, its ups and downs. I've unjammed it, twisted and uncapped it, knifed its Bingham plastic form, slapped it on generously, spread it, rolled with it, swallowed hard and digested it. I've eaten it up and in turn let it eat me up. Then pick up the crumbs of my sanity from the floor and moved on. And here we are, out of bread again. And another one. This was picked up by a publication in Canada. Not just a thing. Oh, please, you're neither sun nor moon. Spare me the astronomical comparisons. You're neither star nor planet, not even a passing comet. Such metaphors belong only to hopeless romantics. I'm more pragmatic. You're a double shot espresso on this chilly morn when the barista finally spelt my name right. You're the lone firefly in our backyard I bottle as a sad child just to watch you flicker on all night. You're the dandelion I blew in a single breath, scattering all your seeds in the wind on a merry flight. There, I compared thee to a beverage, an insect, and a weed. In the family of things, you are something, something warm, winsome, and wish-worthy, nothing grand, distant, and unreachable, but something smaller, closer, something I could hold in my curious, trembling hands if only you would let me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Julian. My mouse got stuck. I'm usually faster at that. All right. As always, love getting to read along, and what a flex being able to pull up the publication just like that. Uh, um, shoot, what was I gonna say? Yeah, congrats on that. But also, that website, sorry. I think of máscaras, no, masticadores Canada. It's perfect because our next performer is joining us from Canada. Canada. Wait, did she make it back in? She's always running in and out of the house, you know. Yes, Cassie is here. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Cassie onto the mic. Welcome back. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Hi, Richie. Hi, everyone. All right. I will admit I'm a little more disorganized than usual, so I have to make sure I have this poem in front of me. The first one here. Um, this first poem is untitled. If I told you God is in the water, would you look? Would you lift a lily pad and see what its roots are really soaking up? If I told you the wind knows how your kind begins and ends, would you duck into an alleyway on a drunken night and whisper into its ear like a prayer? See, I would try and lead you to the edge of your estrangement as you look down into its glassy surface and see past the ripples of distortion. But I know you won't take my hand. I would tell you what happens when we forget what we are made of, forget our mother's native tongue, but you have already seen it. And I trust that in the right desert at the right dusk, when your mind closes and your pores open, you will remember that you were never just a visitor. So that is my first piece. This second piece is very fresh. It is also untitled, but it's after Kyle Trinmeyer. It's just written this evening. So let's see how this goes. So after Kyle Trinmeyer. The trick for surviving the end times isn't building a better fence around the garden, but developing technologies to indicate when the soil has been poisoned. Little indicators that turn up red when their toes touch invasive substances. There will always be those who have no interest in tending to flourishing, who find who find new ways in, who cart around new poisons. The trick is to have so many tender hands caring for the greenery and so many plots springing up on every otherwise wasted surface, rooftops, sunken patches of asphalt, the nail beds, I'm gonna go back a line here, or two. The trick is to have so many tender hands caring for greenery and so many plots springing up on every otherwise wasted surface, rooftops, sunken patches of asphalt, that nail beds rich with soil become so much the norm that clean fingernails speak for themselves. All right, so that's what I have for originals this evening. And I have a cover poem here. This piece is called Letter to My Great-Great-Grandchild by J.P. Grasser. Oh, Button, don't go thinking we love pianos more than elephants, air conditioning more than air. We loved honey, just loved it, and went into stores to smell the sweet perfume of unworn leather shoes. Did you know that on the coast of Africa, the sea rose and the carpenter bee used to depend on each other? Did you know that on the coast of Africa, the sea rose and the carpenter bee used to depend on each other? The petals only opened for the middle sea their wings beat, so that in the end we protested with tuning forks. You must think we hated the stars, the empty ladles, because they conjured thirst. We didn't. We thanked them and called them lucky. We even bought the rights to name them for our sweethearts. Believe it or not, most people kept plants like pets and hired kids like you to water them whenever they went away. And ice, can you imagine? We put it in our coffee, we dumped it out at traffic lights. When it plugged up our drinking straws, I had a dog once, a real dog, who ate venison and golden yams from a plastic dish. He was stubborn, but I taught him to dance and play dead with a bucket full of chicken livers. And we danced too, at weddings and at wakes and in basements and churches, even when the war was on. Our cars we mostly named for animals, and sometimes we drove just to drive, to clear our heads of everything but wind. I believe I'm going to leave it there for this evening. If you are interested at all in occasionally seeing more of my writing, I do very infrequently, but once in a while, post some of my writing on my Instagram at Relentless Intrigue. And I have not really posted much on it yet, but I probably will. I do have Substack, and that's Relentless Intrigue as well on Substack. Okay, thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Cassie. And may everyone be relentless in your intrigue. Okay, cool. The Substack, what? Are you following us? How dare you not be following us? I'm just kidding. Follow you back, though. And if we have, I already forgot. Sorry. Okay, so next up, we're actually going to go to Washington, D.C. for our next performer. If you've been tuning into these anytime, you already know what's up. We're going to say hi to our friend, Mr. Ed Poetastic. When you're ready, Ed, go ahead and take it away. Ready, Eddie? All right.
Ready, Eddie. Thank you so much, my bro. Like no other words like thunder. Hello, my name is Ed Potassical. Everyone feeling fantastic. Please get in time to join my rhyme. Five-o sublime. I got 10 excellent jokes. And I got one mini poem from our wonderful Ashley's workshop. I got two wonderful poems from our wonderful Michael Sindler's workshop. And I got one more for a 30-30 challenge. But let's go. Enough about me. Let's listen to some jokes and poetry. Hope everyone has some extra glee because poetry sets you free. Okay, but anyway, I'm sorry. How does the Easter Bunny travel? By hairplane. What do you call an Easter egg that goes to the gym? An exercise enthusiast. Why can't Easter eggs tell jokes? They'll crack up. Why did the Easter egg feel so confident? Because it was hard boiled. Why did the Easter egg go to therapy? It was dealing with some shell shock. What did the Easter egg say to the other Easter egg? Heard any good yolks lately? What does the Easter egg get from making a basket? 2 points, just like anybody else. What kind of beans don't grow in a garden? Jelly beans. What do you call a rich rabbit? A million hair. How do you know if an Easter egg is crazy? It's completely cracked, of course. All right, thank you so much. Hope everyone loved those jokes for you folks. My first short poem is called The Vile Beast. The depression haunts us, nibbling away till we bust. The beast sleeps in our cave, making us slaves towards our graves. The beast quickens its pace to maul our warming grace. You can't let that beast win. Your negativity needs to end. Kill the beast with positivity. This isn't an eternal travesty. Make it choke on your love. Let it drown from the love above. The beast is living in your mind. Why not roundhouse kick it in the behind? It's living absolutely rent free. Don't let it gulp down your glee. Remember, there is light in the darkness. Don't dwell in your curse, then the bliss. Happiness is found in every day like this. Please cherish the bright sun's lavender radiant kiss. Thank you. My first one is called Orange Crown by our wonderful Michael Sindler workshop featuring by Finn Bell called Poetry Games. But anyway, this is called Orange Crown. My painful history is stealing away my dignity. It's not my race, colored in ebony grace. It's the pesky citizenship. Immigrants leaving in ships. This is not the dream. An asshole feeling supreme. Don't blame the voters. You could blame the stockholders. Greedy as greedy can be, making money off a travesty. He, like any crooked businessman, doing anything for his master plan. What's the point of separating families with so much hatred from nationalities? What's the point of pesky tariffs? Yet he keeps avoiding the bailiffs. What's the point of being one-sided? Has your big ego been truly knighted? What's the point being tough on immigrants? Great impudence shown by cold delinquents. What's the history of your dear grandparents? Oh, your speech is being vaguely transparent. What's the point of killing the poor Constitution by taking our contributions from institutions? What's the point of destroying America while extremists snort inner hysteria? I'm trying to hang on to a sliver of hope. I know I'm a dope, but I'm trying to cope. Our great grandparents survived the Great Depression. Allowed to mention we survived the COVID oppression. We will strive to see his reign crumble to the ground. Then we'll be the ones with crowns in front of the orange clown. Thank you. And this other one's called Price Tag. Be yourself, not a bookshelf. I can't. I can't. I'm not an ant. I think I can in this boring land. We see the same trend now and over again. People want Gucci bags, then carelessly brag. People want new Nikes, then say life sucks and bites. People want a crazy sign, then knowledge kicks their behind. People want a Tesla, then they want something extra. People want Louis Vuitton, but ask, does this have gluten? People want Calvin Klein, then say they're in a financial bind. People want BMWs, but why feeling blue? People want clothes like celebrities, yet fueling these laboring factories. We are living with clones, with hearts as stones. I'm saying, please, please, don't fall for this disease. You're a true blue original. You have hidden potential. Don't think like the crowd. Instead, make your own sounds. Thank you. My first one is called. I'm sorry, my last first one. My last one is called. Oh, sorry about that. Last one is called Public Square. A snake wrapped around. I can't make any sound. I could hear the dreadful rattle. My body's losing this battle. Oh my God! I can't breathe. I can only grip my teeth. The wind refusing to come out. Come on! Why can't I shout? Do I have early state of gout? Or a itsy bitsy amount of clout? I feel naked with no underwear. Please don't stare with those glares. I feel like an animal in the zoo. My mouth stuck by crazy glue. I so what the hell is that? Am I picking words from a hat? Why could I be born a bat instead of silently suffering an attack? Why do people make it look easy or not trying to come off as cheesy? My mind is feeling like milk. My tongue is feeling like silk. Oh God, where are my notes? Hopefully not chewed up by goats. Yeah. Now I'm sweating many bullets. Breathe before you start crying pellets. Oh anxiety, please remove your grip before my heart skips while I slip. If you have anxiety in society, it's only reality with extra variety. It's okay. It's just another day. Don't downplay your wordplay. Remember, it's only in your mind. Nobody's gonna kick you in your behind. We all have that uncomfortable feeling. No need for freezing or squealing. Never forget, don't focus on little old you. Don't stay blue because you know what to do. Thank you.
That's right.
Woo!
And you tell them, man, what do the fine folks need to know?
The five folks need to know. Come to this wonderful, wonderful, stupendous, magnificent, fantastic open mic that makes our money light such a light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook's 84 and IG is 8492. And remember, if you send a request, if you take guests, the answer is yes. I hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Now start spewing the wonderful words inside your chest. Now start being and doing and feeling your best. And always remember, you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your glow and never ever stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show.
Yes, sir. That is the Ed special. Took us on a journey, as always, through the jokes, the puns, the pieces. We're here, man, and we experienced it. The Ed Poetastic experience. All right. So, as always, we have one last a closer. And let's see. Did you turn on your camera? Yes, you did. You ready?
Yeah, let's get into it.
You sound so excited about it. All right. Without further ado, we've got
Do I look,
Dan the man.
do I look excited or probably not so applied? Or how about hide it? Not so obliged. All right. Okay. Yeah, we're still the month of poetry. It's something like like a spelling bee. And the words are home free. It's like the word of a mouthing or like a mouthing spree, not a killing spree. And that is weird. Yesterday was Easter Sunday, and also on a 420 day, which means Easter Bunny smoking on a weed day. And well, yeah, but the problem is, why 420 on an Easter Sunday? That is odd and a funny. That is an odd way to have a smoke at bay. That is off the way, man. Yeah, you get the Puss Buzz Passover, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just a Cheech and Chong fan, man. Yeah, I'm just doing the poetry. Yeah. Is your name Dan the Man? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, imagine if Chong would ask me that question. I call him the man, and he calls me Dan the Man. That's weird. Yeah. Imagine Cheech and Chong would do something. Imagine Cheech and Chong doing an Easter special that gone terribly wrong, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, oh, shoot. Dang it. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. There was something that brought a lot. Uh, it's just like in a parking lot. Empty spaces don't need it. That doesn't get it got. Yeah. Well, those are Meals on Wheels. Anything else to steal? Yeah, but Teals doesn't get this thing on a cartwheel. What a big deal. Fan the automobile minus oldmobile. Yep, as it seems. Yep, any TV series on stream. One big scream. Well, ain't no self-esteem, but like a color scheme. Okay, I think I ran. All right, yeah, this is the poetry right here. Well, we've got until sorry, we've got until we got 9 days left. Well, maybe 8 days left till April for the. I hope to be at the Old Sheepdog Brewery this coming Thursday. Yeah, because definitely not so sure. Well, let me see if well, you know what? I'll keep you posted. So, anyway, so. Oh, thank you. Okay, then. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I can't believe it's 420 on an Easter Sunday. Uh, what a way to celebrate an Easter bunny on a weekday, man. Yeah, I should have called it. Yeah, I should have called it Cheech and Chong Day, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Well, since there's already weed in the light, yeah, not much for a fight in the puff fight. Okay, guys. Let's see. I'll be at Thursday night. We Old Cheek Dog Brewery and BWOMS night. So for poetry night. Okay. Speaking of night, all right, Richie. Let's go ahead and call it a night.
Are you sure, man? I had 10 more people signed up.
I thought I was the last one.
I'm sorry, man. You took too long. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna do one piece. Thank you, Dan, as always, for closing it out. I want to read a piece from Citizen Legal. This is the first collection, first book by Jose Olivares, Chicano poet. This one's called "Not Love is a Season." Not love is a season. I drank fire. A dozen blankets couldn't keep me from shivering. Winter is an unavoidable fact. And let's hear from Cali. And I don't trust people who don't know the freeze of loneliness, the dead branches abandoned by the birds still chasing summer. My homies all telling me I'll meet someone else, like I want to meet someone else. My wound deep. but mine. Already time working to ease my grip on my hurt. I know misery thaws. The frozen branches, a blank canvas for a brush of green. The flowers brilliant, and there like they never left. Like I said, I don't trust people unfamiliar with love. How it begins before the sun whispers a hot word, when the only light received is artificial and polite as a light bulb. How love is a season that begins like a leaf, when in the dead winter a tree dreams of a crown it will one day wear. And then just the last one of my favorite of this entire collection. It's very short. That's how long it is. It's a little blown out. Sorry. I'm right in front of the light. Note, rose that grows from concrete. The inspirational slogan wants you to believe you are a rose, but consider the emperor's muddy boot. You could be a rose or concrete. The record suggests the boot sees both as a welcome mat. We need a new metaphor. A seed is better, but when seeds grow, who gets the fruit? Fuck it. Be a rusty nail. Make the emperor howl. All right. I feel that's fitting to a lot of things we've been going through lately. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for coming in and performing. Those of you who hung out with us on YouTube. Again, if you're an EPCC student and you want to get that extra credit or the Tejano passport, the directions are in the description of this video. We have a bunch of events going on this week. Hope to see you guys at any of them. Come say hi, especially come up and sign. And we will see you guys, for those of you online, next Monday. So for the online mic, my name is Rich. You can find me on Instagram at Deadwall Reveries. For those of you tuning in for the first time, see you next